Today I want to talk about a hot topic, which is isolation and relationships. And I'm recording this video from isolation here, my brother's place in Perth, Western Australia. Hello, my name's Barry William Maglidity, CEO and founder of The Game Changers. We help business owners triple their profits and double their time off. And during our time, we work with a lot of relationships and a lot of couples in business, help them to manage conflict, create better communication, and create a business they're both proud of. And something I haven't seen people talk too much about at the moment is isolation and the effect that it's going to have on relationships. Now, let me explain. Right now, there's a lot of people that are experiencing significant financial hardship. They've got family members that are sick. We're living in a shitload of uncertainty and scarcity. There's a lot of fear being pushed out. That's going to bring up emotions. One of my old mentors once said to me, Barry, as human beings, life squeezes us. And when life squeezes us, what comes out is what's inside. And for a lot of us, that's undealt with pent-up emotions, anger, resentment, and so forth. And if right now you're on isolation and you're on isolation with your kids and with your partner, I'm gonna go as far to say that's possibly bringing up some challenges for you. And I guess I wanna speak into that a little bit and help you guys navigate through this time stronger and better for it. I don't wanna see the divorce rate go up as a result of this pandemic. Just like I don't want to see any more businesses being closed down and lost. So I'm here to help, and hopefully today's video can touch on that. The first thing I want to share, it's really important to realize that your partner, your kids, they're not your enemy. They're not your enemy. They're not out to get you. They're not out to piss you off. They're not out to purposely upset you. Maybe they might try to take the piss a bit, but they're not out to maliciously pull you down. And if they are, you probably should have left the relationship a long time ago. So that being said, it's really important to notice that if something happens in your environment that triggers you, own that trigger, own that response, and find a way to appreciate it, because what's happening is that the love, the experience, the situation we're going through right now, the mass awakening, is causing anything that is not love, anything that is not in harmony and harmoniously sitting within the body to come to the surface. And so thank them for triggering you. Thank you, darling, for triggering you. Thank you for bringing this up right now. I wasn't aware that was there. And then go and do the work. Go and journal. Go and work out what created that environment, what created the situation that caused the trigger to come in the first place. The worst thing to do, though, is to blame your partner, to blame your kids for making you angry. No one has that power but you, except many of our partners, our kids, are beautiful facilities for us to bring about the deep transformation and change that we're all seeking at some level. The second thing is, if you don't already know your partners and your love language, do the test. There's a free test on Love Languages, I think it's .com. You can do a test and work out what your partner's love language is and what yours is. Because one thing that I've experienced in past relationships is that often, as human beings, we always want to communicate to the other person unconsciously the way we want to be communicated to. If you've got a person in a relationship whose love language is physical touch, and someone's is acts of service, or someone's is quality time, you're going to be trying to give them physical touch all the time. Yet they're not going to receive love that way because it's not their love language. Yet you're going to wonder why they're wanting to spend time with you all the time and not touch you, because their love language is quality time. So take the test, literally 5 minutes long, you and your partner, and then set up, and I challenge you the next 14 days to communicate to your partner in their love language. This will do ample to your relationship and ample to your sex life and getting you laid as well. So spend some time, understand your partner's love language, do it with them, let them understand yours, and let them know how they can better serve your love language, and actually to ask them, babe, darling, mate, husband, whatever, how can I best serve your language? How can, what sort of physical touch do you like? What sort of acts of service do you like? Go through, do the assessment. Highly recommend read the book as well with your partner if you haven't already. It's probably something good to do in isolation. The next thing, make sure you honor your boundaries and your requirements for self. More than ever, I see a lot of relationships that are codependent, a whole nother topic, and a lot of relationships where people just don't honor what they need individually within their relationship. So it's really important that you understand what you need to top your cup up, and you actively seek getting that out. I've been in a lot of relationships where I've loved spending time with my partner so much that I've neglected going to the gym, I've neglected meditating, I've neglected doing the things that I needed for me to keep me showing up best in the relationship. So as much as you might want to spend every second of every day around them, make sure you honor yourself and some time alone, some time in isolation, meditating, listening to music, doing a workout, going for a run, journaling, whatever it is for you, but make sure you honor that time. And equally to make sure you communicate that to your partner, which gets us on the next step, which is around communication. I think the single biggest breakdown in any relationship is communication. People not being taught how to communicate in such a way that their partner can understand. This is where a lot of triggers come from. There was something that I researched and studied a lot last year, which was non-violent communication. And if you haven't heard it before, I highly recommend you get the audio, read the book. But it's a very beautiful way to be able to express and communicate your feelings and your needs to your partner without blaming them or making it their fault. Okay, if we look at men core need in a relationship is the need to feel appreciated. Ladies, if when's the last time you said to your man, hey, I appreciate you taking the rubbish out, I appreciate that you made your bed this morning, I appreciate that you go to work and bring the income in for us, whatever it is. And equally to men, women just want to be understood, not fixed. So at the end of the day, if you get home and they've been there with the kids all day, take them aside, put the kids in front of the telly or outside to play, take them aside and go, cool, how's your day? Tell me about it. Not so you can fix it, not so you can make it better, but just listen to them. They just want to be heard and understood. And even ask the question at the end, hey, babe, out of all you've shared right now, what is it that you'd like my help with? Or is there anything you'd like my help with? Or hey, out of everything you've shared, what would you like me to remember? Because often there's a lot of stuff that comes through. It's hard for us men to kind of take that on board. So communication is key. Understand that men want to be appreciated, women want to be understood. Spending time, if you guys have been apart through the day, to connect in without the kids, without telly, without phones, and just really check in with how each other's going right now, how they're feeling about their family, potentially if they're elderly, higher risk of getting sick, finances, long-term plans and so forth. Actively spend time during this opportunity to cultivate a loving and lasting relationship. Check out non-violent communication if you haven't already, and equally to the love languages. The next part, which I touched on a little bit, was around make sure there's some time technology free, right? Not in front of Netflix or your favorite TV series or in front of your phones. Make sure there's some time. And a good way to do this is often even sit with your partner on the bed, cross-legged, open-legged, face-to-face, hold their hands and just look in their eyes. Don't even need to communicate, don't even need to talk, but spend some time just holding their hands and just connecting with their eyes. And you'll be amazed at what starts to come up and shift when the need for us to verbally communicate is taken away. They say that verbal communication is only 7%. Then we have tonality, and then we also have physiology. And I honestly believe that the greatest communication is unconscious communication, energetic communication from our heart. This exercise can prove to be a very, very powerful exercise to do, to connect in with them without the need to fix or say the right thing, but just to stare in their eyes and just notice and acknowledge the beauty within them, non-verbally. Two more things here. I mentioned before, actively spend some time during this to work in your relationship. If you've got kids, if you've got other responsibilities, that's cool, but set boundaries. Your kids need to be brought up with boundaries as well. Hey, between 6 and 6:30 is mum and dad's time, or 7 and 7:30 is mum and dad's time. That means let her come into the room, you can't knock, you need to look after yourself, you need to look after your brother and sisters. It's time for mummy and daddy. All right, equally too, give them some uninterrupted time with just them, without technology, without in front of the TV. So take some time out of technology. We've been saying a lot to our clients through this time to stay the hell away from social media, because you can't believe half the stuff you read, and most of it is fear-based and scarcity-based, which significantly affects our mindset, our creativity, and our ability to navigate these challenging times. And the last thing that I really just, want to leave you guys with is that, crisis, challenge, adversity is an opportunity for us to come together and come together for it. Your partner, they're going through the same thing. Whether it looks the same way or not, they're going through the same thing. 9 years ago when I went bankrupt, I remember my partner left me at the time, and left me because I wasn't there for her. And I kind of told her to piss off and leave because I felt she wasn't there for me. And through that experience, what I realized is that we both had the same experience, that we weren't there for one another, because she was busy looking after the kids and I was busy running the business and trying to bring the money in. But the fact of the matter is that we're both experiencing challenging times and we weren't communicating. So use this opportunity to communicate, come from a place of compassion, come from a place of vulnerability, sharing what's actually true for you, and see what starts to open up in your relationship. That's it for me today, guys. Barry William Magliotti. If you like this content, if you want some more of this, please comment, reach out and let me know. I'd be more than happy to build some more around this. This is something I'm very, very passionate about. God bless, lots of love, stay safe, wash your hands, practice social distancing. I'll see you on the next one soon. Bye for now.